Hi friends, this is a Bijou Baker. I'm Maria. Today we're going to make Peach Bourbon Jelly. I'm salivating, sorry. It is so amazing. If you made the mango jelly, you'll kind of want to make this one because you'll find you're going to end up doing a lot of gifts just because it's so hard to choose. And this one is just as easy. You know, it's funny. So I got these peaches. I'm going to use, oh, okay, now I'm going to tattle on myself. I needed 12 peaches. I got hungry, so I'm using 11 peaches. Sorry, but it was just really good. I just couldn't resist it, so, okay. Now, when I buy the peaches, I always buy them like a week before I'm going to be ready to use them. And in Arizona, I don't need a week. I only need a couple of days. And of course, for whatever reason, it proved me wrong this time. So they're not as soft, not quite mushy. They're still firm. You know, you just kind of want to make a peach perfume. No, they're not mushy, but they still have a good firm grip to it. So peeling it can be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to show you how to peel a peach effortlessly. I've already got my jars sanitized. My lids are have been boiled. My water should still be hot. I'm going to bring that up to a boil, and I'm going to make a water bath. And then the skin will just peel right off. In theory, right? So one of my ingredients is going to be vanilla beans, the whole beans, in 2 parts. I'm going to slice it open and take out all that paste. That is the nectar of this stuff, let me tell you. It's gold. So I'm going to take it out because you don't ever want to cook vanilla. Vanilla is something you're going to actually add at the end of a cooked ingredient. Baking, that's different because it's a even temperature and not as high. You can burn the vanilla and then it tastes a little bit bitter and rancid, not a flavor you're aiming for. So I'm going to show you how to peel a vanilla bean pod. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, and these are nice and plump. They're very well, they're plump because they've been in my vanilla jar for over a year. So they've got some good nectar in there. And you just take it from the tip, slice it all the way down, cut this tip off just so you can open it, and with the back of your knife, you're going to just kind of squeeze all that out. That's it, right there. Oh my gosh, that's just beautiful. I'm not going to throw this away though. I'm just going to do 3 of them. You can do as many as you want, but you know I've got this addiction for vanilla. Oh, look at that beautiful stuff. I'll take out the threads. I don't want the threads. But I definitely want this. Can you see that? Okay, so I got the water, it's not quite boiling and it doesn't have to be. In fact, I'm going to turn it off because I don't need it a rolling boil. I just need it to get hot. So it's a funny thing with electric ovens and stoves. I put water on my burner. And it's making all sorts of noise just by itself. It's wobbling and it's interesting. Okay, so I've got a water bath, and a water bath is just a bunch of ice and water. That's it, like ice cold drinking water. That's all it is. You're gonna put your peach into the hot water. It's going to kind of like puff up inside, and it's going to make the skin separate. But you don't want to cook it, so you want to quickly dump it into the water bath to stop it from cooking. That's essentially all you're doing. Same thing what you do with tomatoes. All right, let's play. Let me see if I can get you closer. Let me try this. Hold on. Okay, well that worked. All right, so I'm going to put in a few at a time. And I'll leave them in there for about, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. Maybe 40. And so I wanted to take them from here and put them in another container so that they can sit for a minute until I'm ready to use. And the first thing I grabbed was a cupcake tin. How perfect is that? Dumb luck, I tell you. So, yeah, the water is really hot. I'm going to go ahead and add a few more because these they're not as bright as I would like. So then I'll start taking these out. Okay, they're soft, and it's just gonna peel right off. So this is gonna be a little arduous task. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get these peeled, and then we'll come back and cut them up and get them ready. I probably could have left them in the hot water. I'd say maybe another 10 seconds. But I really don't want them to get too soft, and the water, that hot water could cook them. It's not what I'm looking for yet. All right. I love the ease of it though. All right, so let me go on to the others. Yum. That's all I can say is just yum. Okay, so this part of this jelly is going to be just a little bit different than the other one that I made. I'm going to add a ton of sugar, but I'm going to put it into the peaches. Look at that big, beautiful bowl. Oh. So I'm going to put the sugar in the peaches. I'm going to mix it around. I'm going to add half a cup of bourbon. I could have sworn I started off with 3/4 of a cup. No, it's not. Half a cup of bourbon. And I had some of the vanilla bean pod resting in it just because. No reason, just because. If I didn't have that pod handy, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I did, so there you go. All right, so we used about 11 peaches. To these peaches, I'm going to add 8 cups of sugar. Let me show you so I'm not lying. That is a lot of sugar. But that is what jelly is. Jams and jelly are a lot of sugar. So I want to stir this up a bit so that I can fit it all in there. And yes, I should have used a bigger bowl. But believe it or not, it will shrink down a little bit. All right, I'm going to finish the rest of this sugar in there. But I'm also going to add the bourbon. I'm going to let this set. Ideally, I would let this set overnight, just like this. And boy, that sugar ratio is just going to multiply because the sugars from the peaches are going to get pulled in. But I don't have overnight. So I'm going to let it just sit in a warm place. In Arizona, I think we're set. I'm going to push it at an hour. I'd like to say at least 4, but I'm going to leave it sit for an hour. Then we'll be back and play with this. I also added 3 very large cinnamon sticks. So I'm just going to submerge them and let them get happy. I'll cook it. They'll stay in there until I'm ready to jar them, and then I'll take them out. Okay, so it's been sitting for about 45 minutes, and you can just see how juicy that is. And I'm getting the masher, and I'm going to just kind of break up the pieces. These are just way too big for jelly. Plus, the smaller they are, the less they have to cook. And they will get softened as you as they cook, of course. Well, I mean soften. I mean they'll shrink up. They'll get smaller and mushy and exactly what you want. I took out the cinnamon sticks, most of it. And you can have chopped this up really fine before you started, or you can use an immersion blender if you'd like. I'm good with this because, like I said, as it cooks, see how soupy it is? And as far as the alcohol, don't worry about it. It's going to burn out. It's not going to have any alcohol in it, but it'll have a little bit of the flavor. And it won't be overpowering. You would think I'm just a bourbon nut, but I'm really not. But I do like cooking with it. It does add a really good earthy flavor. Look at that. That's good. All right, I'm gonna let it sit here for another half hour just because I want it all. That is just beautiful. I'm going to add in the vanilla bean pods and 1 3/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And some fresh nutmeg. This is going to have a very apple, peach pie kind of flavor, and this is going to bring it out. All right, I'm going to take it to the stove. All right, it will sit here and cook for, I'm probably going to leave it on for half an hour. I'm going to have it on high, a real high heat, and in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to lower to a medium, and then progressively lower it. It will reduce and it will really concentrate and make just one of the best toppings ever. So I'm not going to leave the pot though. I don't trust this stove, so I'm going to just stay right here. I'm looking, and there was a lot of vanilla bean, a lot of the paste from the beans that I put in there, and this is how much I had scooped up. Well, I scooped in about that much, and I think that is more than enough. You can see all the vanilla bean in there. I don't think I'm going to add the whole thing, but since I have it, I'll use that for anything else I want to bake. Okay, so I let it cook for about 25 minutes. Now I turn the heat off, though it still looks like it's boiling. And I'm going to add just the fruit pectin. It's just 100% natural fruit pectin, and that's what's going to give it a little bit of stability. And because it's still so hot, I'm just going to let it sit for about 10 minutes like this. Man, I really wish you could smell this. Okay, so every time I can, I always take out just a sample to let it cool off. Let it really cool off so that I can taste it. Because when it cools off, it gets a little thicker too. So that's another reason. But it's thin. It's not like jam. It's a good jelly. So you taste it before you can it, because that's it. Once it's in there, baby, it's in. The peaches are nice and soft. Have a little. A lot just happened inside there. That cinnamon. Wow, it tastes like a peach pie. It tastes exactly like a peach pie. I'll tell you what. I could do this all day. Oh my gosh, that's good. You know what I like this on? Again, this is another one of those things that you can just put it on everything, especially vanilla ice cream. I'm not even trying to joke. That is just one of the best things. Put it in a shake, maybe not a protein shake, maybe. Put it in shakes or ice cream or puff pastry like I did. You can also stop everything and add about 8 to 12 chopped jalapenos in here. I'm just saying. It's sweet and spicy, does wonderful things. So, all right, now I'm gonna can it. My dad always used to say, you know, when we couldn't eat anymore, it's like, oh, I can't eat anymore. Well, you eat what you can, and what you can't, you can. That confused me as a little girl. I go, I don't know what to do with this food, so he said, put it away. I said, okay. Dork through and through. All right, so let me get on to canning this and show you again that quick step. So I'm going to submerge the finished jars, into boiling water. And you really do want to be careful here. I'll put one more in. I'll let it boil for about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, while that's boiling, I wanted to show you something. This is a lid that I used from another jar, and you can use these jars for so many different things. You don't have to toss these out, but you want to mark them. So I put a little dot. See that? So that when I see this, I know it's not usable. But I can still use the jars for other things. So you don't have to throw these away. You just don't use them. Okay, I had them boiling for about 3 to 5 minutes. It was closer to 5 on this batch. It's a wild bunch, boy. Just let them sit on a paper towel, and you know, it's funny. I feel like I've got more control with this. And this is way too hot to mess with, so I'm gonna stick with what works for me. Wow, there you go. And I'm gonna repeat the rest of the jars. There you have it, my friends. That is I'm gonna start calling it my wow jelly, because it is, wow, so good. Peach Bourbon Jelly. Give it a try. I love that you sit and you watch me. I really appreciate you. I know your time is valuable, and you've given up time just to sit and visit with me and watch me, and I appreciate that, and I just adore you. Thank you for the emails that I get and the positive encouragement. Who doesn't need that now and then? That's it, my friends. Until next time, happy baking.
Ah, that was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.